And here we are.
We had to take a nap.
What is up, my loves? Welcome back to another episode of the Fully Alive podcast. My name is Stephanie Elsterman, and I have missed you. It's been a hot second, and now it's 2025, January 2025. We are kicking off the year with another season of the Fully Alive podcast. We took a little break. We had a little snooze for the month of, I believe it was December, maybe a little bit of November, while we were just crazy busy with the holiday season. For some of you guys who know and have been listening to the podcast, something new to the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025 is not only do I have this incredible podcast, a beautiful community on social media, as well as my own business and clients who I absolutely love supporting, but now my man and I are also teamed up inside of what was originally his own personal business and now has become our business of Deep River Jewelry. Wildly different industries, but it's been so fun to play with both and to really be on his back end and the marketing side, especially for a luxury company. But if you know anything about retail, it is super busy and crazy throughout the holidays. So we shifted my time and space over there, but now we're back. And I'm so excited to just bring newness and fresh energy into this year, especially with everything that I'm personally learning right now, not only being in just one business with one singular focus, but also opening up to what it's like to work in partnership. And so I'm so excited to pour that back into you guys. I'm so excited to just welcome in this new year. We've got an awesome episode coming for you where I bring in my girl, Laura, for our unplugged segments, which we also took a hot break on for like 2 months, I believe. And we just sit down and have a girl chat, really reflecting on this past year, reflecting on all of the lessons and the blessings in disguise that we didn't realize maybe were such blessings, but got to realize that in hindsight, and also our intentions moving forward. So we have a series of questions that Laura didn't know anything about. I came up with the questions and we had never talked about them before. So you got our raw, candid, honest perspective on each of these, and you're welcome to use these questions for yourself. I like to say, I think sometimes there's a lot of pressure to do all of your reflecting right before the clock strikes 12 on New Year's Eve. And then immediately we're thrust into like, what are your goals for 2025? What's happening? And we forget that our bodies are still in winter. We are smack dab in the middle of winter, which means that our bodies are still in this reflection, integration, slow moving mode. And so I'm usually reflecting on my past season of life all through January and even a little bit into February. And March is really where that spring energy starts to pick back up. And then even more in April and even more in May. And then in the summer, you get to experience the fruits of your labor. And that to me is why I call this season prep season, of really preparing yourself, first of all, through reflecting on this past season of life, and then through setting intentions and setting up the systems to make those intentions habits and therefore a reality. But more on that later. Right now, we're just getting into the reflection mode and setting intentions moving forward. We have an absolute blast doing this, and I'm really excited to share certain things that happened this year that I wasn't even expecting. So without further ado, let's head into the podcast episode.
Hi, guys.
Hi, welcome back.
Oh my gosh, I feel like it's been how long has it been since
I
we've
feel
done
like
an
it's been
unplugged?
6 months, but I honestly think it's only been like 3, maybe.
I don't even think it's been that long because it was when I came to visit, which was in October.
Oh my God. It's been like 2
So
months.
yeah, 3 months, because
3 months.
yeah,
Time is an illusion, you know.
it's not real. We're all in a simulation.
And you know what? Holiday break. And here we are.
We had to take a nap.
We lived 5 lifetimes in the past 2 months, so welcome.
We are here to not catch you up on that yet, though. We are here to reflect the year and just keep the suspense hanging.
There's some mystery here, but hey, we're here to recap 2024
Yes.
and really just look at, we have a list of questions that neither Laura and I have even talked about, or I know the question, she doesn't know any of the questions. So we are just going to rapid fire go through this past year, reflect, set some intentions moving forward, and really just recap all of it. This will be a fun little girl chat. You're welcome to take these questions and use them for yourself, or if it sparks something within you and you want to take some notes, feel free to. Otherwise, just settle in. I've got my Poppy. Laura, what are you drinking?
Water.
This is not sponsored by
But
Poppy.
I'm scared to drink it because then I'll have to pee because my bladder is the size of a pea these days, and I'm like, can't.
Just be mindful of your water intake.
Yeah, we'll just die of thirst for right now. It's fine.
Whatever.
For you guys, it's for you. These are the things I do for you.
Drink more water. One of Nolan's intentions this year is to drink more water, and I said that's really sweet. I
It's
love
really
that. I drink
good.
too much water.
Yeah, I'm overhydrated.
Yeah, I get addicted to water. But anyways, I've got my Poppy. Lori.
That's what I used to go by when I was in like 8th grade.
Oh my god, that's so cute. And you're like emo phase?
Yeah.
Oh, I could
like,
so
I'm
see
Lori.
that.
And then I went to Low, trademark on
Low.
MySpace. Low TM.
TM. Of course you added TM.
Everyone call me
love
Low.
that. What was your AI? This is not related to the questions, but I have to know. What was your AIM username? Your first one.
Too crazy for you. X3.
Times it wasn't enough to be times 1. She said,
well, because it was a heart. When you do times 3, it looks like a heart.
Oh my gosh. We weren't friends in high school, but like I could
You would have hated me. You would have hated me.
I know. We would not have gotten along, but that's okay.
No, what was yours?
So I made it in 4th grade.
It's a good start.
Hoop Hottie 789.
Oh.
I really thought I was doing something on there. And then I would go on to my sister's. She knows this now. I would go on to my sister's because she was a year older than me, but she had boys on her AIM. And I would talk to boys pretending I was her. That was like the sneakiest thing I think I ever did as a kid.
Oh, you were better than me. I went in those creepy chat rooms like ASL and like talking to like old strange men and like had to Google like what to reply because I didn't know how to sext. And I was like,
so on another note, it's not a thing we're bringing into 2025 chat rooms.
We're going to start a chat room for Unplugged. What do you guys think? ASL.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay, let's start the questions. You want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. How would you describe your personal style from this year?
Because I have a really, really strong sense of personal style. No, I actually feel like I don't have a strong sense of personal style, but I've talked about this on my Instagram a little bit, where I feel like my style changes with where I live. And I feel like this year I really embraced like the New England slow living. And I think that was just a natural product of like where we live, also running, like having a jewelry store connected to our house. Like Nolan dresses up very like classically put together every day with like a button down and slacks and leather shoes, and he's got like the whole look going on. So I feel like it was more like classic slow living. I wore a lot of my grandma's clothes that she passed down to me, which honestly they were like my favorite piece. They're the only pieces I get compliments on. It's like her clothes. So I would say, yeah, I mean, I guess New England slow living, is that a way? But I don't fully subscribe to like the full-on preppy.
Yeah, it was more of like an elevated. It's like the old wealth vibe.
Oh, elevated chic, maybe. I don't know. You guys can correct me if you're like, Steph, that did not look anything like that.
Go stalk you on Instagram. They're like, no.
Just give me style tips, okay? 2025 intention is to really be in my own personal style and see what I like.
I feel that.
How about you?
Japanese mom look, and you and Eddie both hated it, and we're like, you need to wear more form-fitting things and stop wearing this long like stuff. You're short human, you're small, and it drowns you out. And I thought it was great. It's very comfortable. I was like all about like chic, but like comfort.
So what does that Japanese mom.
It's like
I haven't been to
loose.
Japan. I just
It's
say
like
kimonos, and I didn't see you in a kimono.
no. It's
Like,
like
terrible.
loose dresses, like long, loose, just like
Yeah.
oversized things. And yeah, people weren't a fan of it, but I was really comfortable.
I'm so
So
happy you thrived in that.
yeah, because I went from in Dallas, my style was very like New York, like tight bodycon, like all this stuff. And then I came here and I was like, it's hot. I don't want anything touching me.
Yeah.
And I just want to like flow and be able to like sweat without ruining all my clothes. And I don't know, I always liked the Japanese mom look. So I was like, this is a vibe. I'm going to go with it. And no
I
one
love
agreed with me,
that.
and it's fine.
I love that. I think you always have style. I feel like also you totally wore tight things.
Yeah. I mean, I would bounce back and forth between, like, if I was ovulating, I was like,
Honestly, it's like, what was your style when you were ovulating?
it's like, what phase was I in? It's like, okay.
I love that. Yeah, I think it's honestly interesting, like where you live. For me, it like really.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
changes. Because, like, I used to walk around, like, I'm from New York, and I remember my friends, they would even point out, they're like, you wear so much black, but, like, there's such a small part of my wardrobe that is actually black that I just, because I
You just
redid
like
my whole
reuse.
wardrobe moving to Florida.
Yeah.
But I'm not like a colors person, like a floral Florida
You
person.
like some green.
Yeah, we're trying green. That's as wild as we get.
I love it. Okay,
What's
amazing.
that?
Next question.
Um
Should I ask you?
okay.
Okay, I'll ask you.
Okay. Some ASMR style.
I love this. What was your go-to comfort food or drink this year?
What season of my life was I
in? You decide.
Unfortunately, I feel like I didn't have any comfort food this year because I was so focused on my health that like I pretty much just ate like a bowl of meat, and like that was my comfort. It's like this is it. And I felt so good doing that. And I just got my blood work back and I am so healthy. Everyone was shocked. And I was like, well, bowl of meat, baby.
I would have never been shocked by that. You're an incredibly healthy person.
I know. Everyone was shocked though because how much anxiety I have. I was like, I think I just let my anxiety show because I'm just like so in my like I just feel things a lot.
Yeah.
But like my body isn't riddled with it.
love
Like I
that
don't
for you.
feel it. I'm just very expressive.
I feel like I'm the opposite. Where
Yeah.
I feel it, but I don't always show it. You're really, really good at like just kind of laying it all out there. Like I
Yeah.
don't always, but I feel it. But surprisingly, my blood work was amazing as well.
Yeah. It's great.
So, stress is silently killing me or not.
Stay tuned for next episode.
You know what though? I'm gonna enter in here. You know what you made that was so good? When I visited you, you made that like protein cookie dough.
Oh, it's my favorite thing. Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah, that's
I love
crack.
that for you.
Yeah, but like when I eat too much of it, then I get a little bit too round because it's just like straight nut butters, and it's like, girl, you can't eat a jar of peanut butter a week. It's a lot.
It's a lot to digest.
Ooh, I should make that again. ADD. What was your comfort food drink? Mine was a bowl of meat. For anyone who got sidetracked there,
Okay,
it's a drink.
Great.
Okay.
I'm so happy for you. Mine was a drink. I feel like I'm such a drinks girl. I
Yeah.
always have like 3 at a time. I see
1,000%. She always does.
now. So one is like Nolan and I discovered because we don't really drink alcohol. Like we don't really have a stash of alcohol unless we have like friends coming over or something like that. But we stock our entire fridge with poppies.
Yes.
Again, not sponsored, but Poppy, if you would like to.
But if they want to.
And Nolan's crazy, and he has like literally every single flavor you could ever want. So I would say poppies were like just guilty pleasure. We justified spending wild amounts on it. And I just discovered this is like an end of 2024 thing. I discovered 2 things: Danger Coffee and Chicory Coffee. Danger Coffee is Dave Asprey's brand, but it's basically just like mold-free, toxin-free coffee that doesn't give you jitters. And I have not been able to drink coffee itself for ages. And
she's really funny when she does, though.
I'm so sensitive, and it just sends me over an edge. And we just said like, no, we don't need that extra that extra little bump of just panic going through my veins. But this literally doesn't do that. And it's changed my world. So I'm very happy. And also chicory coffee is like a caffeine-free alternative to coffee. And you can
I
still have
should
the
play
same
with that.
taste of coffee without any caffeine. And I'm so happy to have that taste back in my life. Okay, end of story. So
I want to try it because I've given up coffee. And I'm not a fan.
you should try it. I don't know if it's psychological. I feel like it does still give you some sort of like feeling. Not the
Probably.
same as cacao, but it like gives you a feeling. Again, it could be psychological.
Like a ritual.
Yeah. Okay. What is it my turn or your turn? It's your turn. Sorry.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, it is my turn. What's your favorite memory with me?
My favorite memory with you. I feel like we had so many this year because I was looking back through my camera roll and I literally, in like the first 6 months of the year, I think I was in Florida like 3 or 4 different times, which was amazing. And then you came to Connecticut, which I feel so blessed that we made that a priority. I mean, granted,
I
Nolan's parents
know,
also
it's so
live where we
good.
live, but like it's so nice to even though we're long distance, we had like so many experiences to get to like be in person, and we already have such a beautiful, incredible bond just virtually, which is crazy. I think for the
It's so
first year
weird.
that we were friends, like we had only met in person once,
Yeah.
which is crazy. But I think being in person was just amazing. I would honestly say like New Year's last year was just hilarious. Like I will keep the belly laughs that we had from that night and like the fucking hilarious videos that I was just looking back on in my heart for forever.
We were so weird that night.
We were so
completely
weird.
sober.
And I in Florida, completely sober until 2:00 in the morning. Not even vision boarding, not talking about our goals at all.
Just being, you know what it's like? It was like little girls at a sleepover where it's like, let's make up dances, let's run around, let's go record this video.
Guitar at one point,
serenading me. We're like, we're gonna be in bed by 8. Watch 2 a.m. later.
Sorry, you can't have fun sober. What about you? What was your favorite memory? And honestly, should we both answer each question? I feel like it's gonna end up like taking us too long.
It's gonna take so long.
Let's just like bounce back and forth. So I'll ask you the next one.
Okay.
What's a memory from this past year that just feels like pure magic? Just overall memory. Doesn't have to be
Pass.
a different one.
Oh.
Anyone.
Feels like pure magic. I really enjoyed, it's like 2 like my solo trips that I've taken in this last year. Like I took myself on this like solo, no Wi-Fi camping, glamping trip and just took a healthy dose of shrooms and fell wildly in love with myself even more. And I just had so much fun by myself, like in this tiny remote cabin with no Wi-Fi, no cell service. It was just like my friends are like checking my location. You okay out there? I had so much fun. Or like Arizona, just like playing on the bed and like jumping around and like waking up to go hike first thing in the morning, and just those types of memories. It's just like, oh, you know, I get so caught up in the day to day, and I, you know, really do get lost with self sometimes. And I think back to those moments and I'm like, oh yeah, like when I am alone and I'm in these spaces and I do this stuff, like I am my best friend. And it's like that version of the little girl in me that is like so proud of the woman I've become. And those 2 moments really solidify that.
I love that. I love that you take solo trips. Like to me, it's so beautiful and expansive because I've done like big solo travel, like 3 months of solo travel, but I think I forget to still have like those moments with self, especially in relationship and like being very grounded and things like that. So I love that. It's always beautiful to witness.
It's like taps back in, you know? Yeah. I need to do another one actually. Now that I think about it.
You should bring it to Connecticut. Okay. That would not be solo, but anyway.
But I could go like in the woods and then I can come hang out.
Just go in the woods behind our house.
I could go, I'll be like, do you have a tent?
I'll bring some s'mores.
I'll just like walk out. No one's like,
you can take
Laura?
a solo stove and a tent and a sleeping bag, and you can go in the woods.
I used to do that when I was a kid.
I love that for you.
I'll do it again. What's a truth about yourself that became undeniable this year?
Ooh. what became undeniable and what I hope continues to become even more undeniable throughout my entire life, but I feel like I really got a deep taste of it, was what it's like to be a woman of value, not
Mm.
connected to what you do.
Mhm.
Just having
That's a
that
good one.
sensation of like, no matter what room I walk into, I bring value. And it's not related to what I wear. It's not related to the friends I have. It's not related to what I look like. It's not related to what my business is. And like, I think all of those things probably still have a little bit of a hold on me because, like, let's be honest, I think that's a lifelong journey of like fully releasing those and feeling your value from the inside out. But I got a taste of what that feels like to be like, oh, no matter where I go, I will always leave people better than, I mean, hopefully, I will always leave people better than I found them just by being myself. And that's the intention that I always go for. But also, like, I will always add value. And you know what? I was reflecting on this last night. And because I was like, where did this come from? And of course, it comes from my own personal journey and going through like a whole identity crisis and like release of what I thought that I had wanted. And I've talked about that before on the podcast. But I will also say, not only having incredible friends within my life who reflect that value back to me, like you reflect that value back to me, no matter what it is that we're talking about, you're like, there's just, when you're fully seen by someone, you're like, oh, like there's that deeper understanding of like, oh, like there is worth here no matter what the topic is, no matter what we're doing. It's just,
Mhm.
it's beautiful. But also, Nolan has been the most incredible reflection of this. Like, he truly, I don't know what I did to deserve him in this lifetime, but he really reflects back truly unconditional love.
Mhm.
Like when I'm over here in my own world being like, no, my worth is attached to what I do in the world, and like in on that journey and my achievement, and like as much as I think that I'm past that, like there's still remnants of that. He really will always reflect back to me like just how much love there is for me. Not even, I could do nothing. And just like who I am, how I speak, how I think about things, how I perceive, how I love, like all of that. And I, again, like I don't know what I did to deserve that, but it has completely changed and shifted me. And I'm excited
Mm.
to bring that into the future of just being able to be the woman who can hold space for it all because she's not tied and attached to one thing proving her own worth. Like she is
Mhm.
worthy, she is value no matter what. And then that opens up so much fucking space to create, to take up space, to do whatever the heck you want because it's not this one thing that just gives value. So long-winded answer.
Mm.
Yeah.
I love that. And it is one of, I've told you this guys so many times. It's like your love is so expansive. And like to see someone love you in that way
Mm.
changes how you perceive love or how
It
I
really
perceive love.
does.
And it's like you do that even through how you're loved.
Mm.
You know, like, yes, when you enter a room and just who you are. And it's, you know, I got to see that in so many different avenues this year from you when you walk in and just like, it's just pure magnetism and you elevate a room and like, even just watching you dance, like doing that kind of stuff. It's like you're just like in your energy. And then, you know, also seeing in that, like that elevates the value around you. And then also seeing the way that he loves you and the way that you love him and what your love creates, that elevates the value. And it's just, it's this whole little ecosystem around it that is just so beautiful.
Thank you. I love you. Thank you for always just witnessing and seeing all of it.
I love you.
Amazing. Okay, next question. Ooh, if 2024 was trying to show you one thing about your life, what do you think it was?
Oh, come on.
I thought I was gonna get that one. Your
Surrender.
turn.
Surrender, surrender, surrender. If anything this year has showed me, like, it's funny. I started this year going through ending things with that one guy. And well, I didn't end things. He just ended things from his own projections. And I was like, okay. Whatever. I don't know what to do with that, but like, okay. And I remember being so hurt by it. And just again feeling left, misunderstood, like, again, like, my bigness was too much for someone, and really wanting to, like, control these things, control this outcome, control my love life, control my finances, control these things, control my body, control, and somehow I'll get to the end result. And I realized this year through everything, every lesson was this like release, surrender, release, surrender. And if I look at the timeline of this year, everything led to the next thing. And it all makes sense. And it's not necessarily like even the season I'm in right now, it's definitely not the way I saw it coming. Like I did see this all coming, but like not in the way it was handed to me. Like I saw the dish coming, but not served on this plate. And I have just gotten to a point in my life of just going, okay, like what can I make of this? Because at the end of the day, I'm the creative director of my life, and I'm continually given raw material. I'm continually given things to work with it, and I can perpetuate the story. And don't get me wrong, I do get caught in my stories often, but then this surrender moment comes where I'm just go, what am I making of this? What art can I create from this? What's my next right step? Like, and can I just trust the process? And I've come into this like deep surrender and trust in God like never before, because it's all I have at this point. Like I have all these things, but I've relied on my mental survival and my trauma survival brain and ego for so long. And it did get me to a certain part of my life, but I've realized like it's not me. And I get to a lot of places faster when I just go, hands up, okay, I'm here for the ride. Like my life is just, I've surrendered. Like I just, God has me on a different path, very different path. And it's turbo speed in so many ways. And I just have to go, what can I make magic from within this context? And how can I shift my like, oh, but I didn't do this. And I want to do this. And it's not how I wanted. It's like, it's how he wanted. So can I just trust him and surrender?
Yeah. You've been such a powerful example of that surrender. And it's so funny because I know we joke where it's like, I can't wait to look back on this lifetime and just
Literally.
see what God had cooked up for you, because I get challenged, but the amount of things that I feel like
it's just here.
And you think, like I get stripping, but like to witness what you guys don't realize is like to witness Laura and her path is so beautiful and incredible, because every single time you've been stripped of something by like wild circumstances, like just out of this world, like not even, doesn't even make sense sort of circumstances, you continually are in that mode of surrender, of just like letting, not even letting go, but creating space for a deeper connection with faith and with yourself and just trusting.
Yeah.
Really
And it's funny because I sit there and like being in the trauma world and like subconscious world, I'm like, what the hell is in my subconscious? And and I'm like, I literally just have to chalk it up to God being like, this is what his plan is. Cause I'm like, I've done enough of that sub like worthiness stuff and like all the things that I'm
much
like
work to look at you. I'm like, what was your last lifetime?
literally.
What happened?
I'm like, okay, but like there's something that's been coming over me lately in this season is just like, you know, the devil only tests things that are meant to be magnificent, and we will get tripped up when we're tired and we're lonely and we're isolated and we go through all these things. That's when it usually wins, right? Like that's when these negative thoughts come over and you perpetuate the cycle, versus all I know in these seasons and the things I've been gifted. Like, thank you for the huge lessons in my 20s that now when I'm tested in my 30s, I just sit here and I'm just like, oh, there's really something that's going to be extraordinary on the time horizon. And I've said it, 33 for me. I have said it since I think we've been friends. I was like, I don't know about it, but like when I'm 33, that's when I know things. And so I'm not shocked. Like I'm a little shocked, but like I'm not like totally, I'm like, yeah, I kind of knew this was going to happen. But like, can you be a little softer? Like, what in the fuck? Like,
you know what's so funny is like I have had to catch myself, because when you've said 33 so much that I've thought you've been 33 for like 2 years. And then like the other day you're like, no, I don't even know, 31.
I'm 32.
You're 32.
Yeah. I'm 32. And so it makes sense, like, coming into the 33, I had to sit the other day being like, it's on par, you know?
Oh,
That's
I
like
am
kind
so
of just taking
excited to
these
see
things.
what this year brings for you because I feel like it's going to be good. I have this feeling that this entire next year is just going to be really good. And I don't know what it is, but I can feel it for a lot of people. I can feel it for all my clients. I can feel that there was just like something happened this last year where for a lot of people it was a shit show. And for a lot of people it was like setting the foundation for really big things. And I don't know what's going to happen in 2025, but I just feel it.
Yeah.
I feel
It's
it.
going to be God's plan. It's all right. It's our thing to just go, okay, I'm here.
I guess so.
On things. Okay, let's see. Show you one thing. Oh, what's a goal you set and failed at this last year?
The the only one I can remember, because I just said it for myself again, was I did not walk 10,000 steps a day. I got myself a walking pad and I did not accomplish that. I failed.
Yeah.
So
But
I'm
it's
going to reset that
hard. You
one
don't
for
have
this year. Oh, I
sidewalks.
also said that I was going to read or listen to one book a month. And I fell off of that like 3 months in. So we're resetting that one. But here's the thing. I believe that some goals stick for a reason and other goals stick because it wasn't the time.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I would say those two. It would be very interesting to go back and look at my goals from last year. To be completely honest, I haven't even done that yet. But I'm sure that there was something like some sort of business or podcast thing that maybe I didn't hit or something like that. I don't know. But it's so funny because like in the gap of the things that you don't hit, there's always an or better that
Oh,
you
it's,
do that you could
yeah.
have never planned. You could have never put it on your goals list. You could have never seen it coming and it's or better. And so that's also my invitation for you guys listening. Like if you ever, especially the high performer mind, you get so wrapped up and I used to do this, be like, where was I and where am I now and what did I hit and what did I not hit? And we get so fucking tied to our goals. I love a goal. I love a target. I think it does something to your energy and it changes you. But if you are getting incredibly wrapped up within your goals and being like, oh my God, and then using it to berate yourself, it's completely missing the point because there are so many beautiful divine gifts that God has given you
Fact.
that weren't on that goals list. So on that note, I'm going to add this one in. What was your high for 2025 that you couldn't see coming? That you didn't see coming. Yeah, let's do that.
That I did not see
That you did
coming.
not see coming. A different one.
um, I don't know. My dad coming back into my life.
Yeah.
I guess that would be one.
That's
It's still different in ways, but I am learning, just like I did with my mother, how can I accept you for what you are versus who I want you to be? And having patience with his own processes and just being who I am, where it's like, okay, if I am fully me and I really love me, I don't need my dad's approval. I just need to love him as he is. And I'm walking through this practice, and he randomly came back into my life the end of this year. And we're in that. And I didn't think that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Until, having kids and all these things. And he just decided to come in. And I was like, okay.
I love that.
Yeah. It's a good one. I'm looking at how much my computer battery, I have 15% left. So
Rapid fire.
I think we'll make it. What's one truth you want to live so fully that it radiates from you in 2025?
I feel like for me, how I typically work is I will have instead of having a bunch of mini intentions, I will have one bigger intention that's usually a continuation building off of the last year with little pillars underneath it. And so what I was saying before is being a woman of value no matter what room you walk into. I feel like there's a continuation part of that. to feel it deeper and to actually put it in practice, because I think there's one thing when you get a taste of it, of like what that feels like to really be in your heart and to be in truth, and then to also bring that into a room and feel yourself and feel your own power. But then there's a practice of that, and there's like a deeper noticing. So I would say that that is one, but I would also say what's coming through is taking up more space,
Mm.
like actually taking up more space. And instead of, I think, there's always been a part of me who, it's like once I learn the rules for something, I can figure it out, I can replicate it, I can hit the target no matter what, which is sometimes a beneficial thing. But other times it can lead me to putting myself in a box because I think I can only abide to certain rules of what's worked in the past, or what I think is going to work, or what I think I'm supposed to do. And there is still that part of me that feels like I am not fully expressed, or I'm not fully out there to the extent that I could be. I think there's always another layer. And so I think for me, taking up space, not only in relationships, because one of my intentions is to like talk more, because I hold space incredibly well. But when it comes to sharing about myself, sometimes I close up, but that's already like shifting. But also taking up space in like how I allow myself to come across. I think a huge thing was even in business and teaming up with Nolan this year and really coming into our union and our partnership, not only on a personal level, but also on a professional level, and growing something incredible and just really expanding my own brand to be a complete personal brand, rather than only sharing the certain parts of my life that I feel like I could share because of X, Y, and Z, because of the business model, because this is what I taught
Mhm.
on, because all of that, and just letting myself fully out of the box to be me and to really be like the woman who gets to have it all,
I love
gets
it.
to have all these sides of herself just out and taking up space in the world.
Mhm.
That's mine.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. If you could describe the energy that you want to embody in 2025 in one sentence and one sentence only, what would it be?
Oh, it's my word, liberated.
Mm.
I just recognize, like, even going through my photos of this year, because I like to kind of do this like highlight stuff. We all do. And, in my season, before I had wealth, before I had Eddie, before I had responsibilities, I was so free and just like would speak the way that I speak and like wear these outfits and just I was that version of me. And then all of a sudden, because I finally got to safety and, focused on reoccurring revenue, funnels, these types of things, I put myself on the back burner. Whereas, like, I don't want to lose my relationship. I don't want to be a walking trigger anymore. I don't want to do these things, da 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 da. Da. And I became the good girl
Mm.
later in this year. And I just fucking sick of it. Like I'm like, that's not my natural state. My natural state, my entire life has been a disruptor. And that's who I do like to be. Some people don't like that, but it's like, hey, my AIM screen name was too crazy for you. X3. Like it's on brand for me. And like I miss that version of me of just like being liberated. So for this year, that's where I'm at. It's just like, fuck me up. Watch
I
out.
think we should bring back the screen name.
Too crazy. It's
Too
funny
crazy
because it's
for
my
you.
Facebook sign-in email still,
Oh my God,
and my
stop.
high school boyfriend uses my email because
What?
his too is like linked to it, and I'm like, so
He
when you
still
go to a
uses
place, it'll
it?
be like I'll get like an email, and it'll be like da 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 is signing up for da 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 and whatever, and I'm like, so honey, when you're
What?
going to like tire
That's
stores, you're
crazy.
like, they're like, what's your email? You're like, too crazy for you, X3. Like, what?
That is so hilarious.
So funny.
Honestly, power to him.
I know.
Why
I'm
the
like,
fuck not?
I know. I'm
Love
like,
it.
what are you doing?
I love
He's funny. Okay, let's see. I got 11%. We got this. Um, how can you lean into more vulnerability in your relationships this year?
I feel like these questions are just building one on top of the next.
They're good.
So same like taking up some more space, but I already said that. So I would say similar to what you're saying, like saying what the fuck I mean.
Yeah.
Like actually saying what I mean and being willing to be misunderstood in the process of that. And I don't think for me personally, that's something that can just switch overnight. I think it will, again, it's like a journey and it's a beginning of a journey. And I think this last year was setting the foundation for a lot of that. But there are so many parts of my life that I've really come home to this year of like, like, there's so much love here,
Mm-hmm.
and really recognizing that and allowing myself to take it in, not only, in my relationship, but in our home and in our family. And like, there's so many spaces and friends. And I'm like, you know what? I have a really incredible support system around me. Who am I really afraid of being misunderstood by?
Mm-hmm.
And it's never even like a specific thing that I'm worried about being misunderstood about. It's that general, like, oh, well, if I say this or if I do this, then what? It's like, well, who are you really afraid of being misunderstood? And are you really going to put yourself in a box for the rest of your life
Mm-hmm.
because you're afraid of,
The good girl becomes the
Sally from
rebel.
Nebraska misunderstanding you? Absolutely not. So that's a practice that I want to come into this year.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I just remember you saying last year where it was the little girl in you that wants to like be the unicorn and like wild. I forget what animal you related it to, but it was like the wild child. That was
Yeah,
it.
wild child.
And like letting that out. And I'm excited to see it because you did tap in more into that. And now I'm excited to see where else it goes.
It's building for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even see my screen. If you could give one thing, tangible or intangible, to yourself in 2025, what would it be and why?
$1 million.
Oh,
Just kidding.
I thought you were like one. I was like, yeah, just. Oh.
It's my new phone.
$1 million. I love that.
No, that wouldn't be it. A home. I recognize more and more like through the hurricane and stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't had a home. Like I rented a furnished place. I spend, well, now I live with Eddie, but like oh yeah, guys, I moved in with Eddie. But like nothing is mine, and I'm really ready to nest. Like, and I'm recognizing I want to have something to come home to. I want to create something. I want to decorate. I want to build. I want to plant roots. I want a backyard.
Yeah.
I want to lay in the backyard with my tits out. Like, I just want to be home. And so that's what I would give myself.
I love that so much. I can't wait to see your home drop in.
I'm looking at it in my little visualization behind you. I found this beautiful home in Tennessee. It's $3 million, but it's fine.
Stop it. See? Hot damn.
I know. I was like, I don't know. I could fuck with that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Closing with vulnerability and connection. Okay. I've read the title for you guys. What's one thing you do differently in 2025 if no one else's opinion mattered?
Oh my God. Okay, this is so funny because I feel like all my questions are building off of each other, and I feel like all your questions are building off of each other.
Good
How
job.
crazy the way that works.
Good job.
What's one thing? I mean, I feel like I was saying this before, like say what the fuck I mean.
Yeah.
Tangibly, I'm just going to go tangibly because I think that's what's coming to my mind is I would share more about different parts of my life than just business online.
Yeah.
And I think I've already started to do that. And I think I actually do that more than I give myself credit for. But I still think there's been a part of my brain that has filtered things like, oh no, I can only show up in this specific way. When in actuality, there is so much that's going on behind the scenes within my life that I don't always share because I was like, oh, well, does this actually fit into my quote unquote niche? But like, fuck all of that. I'm so here for just breaking down the box. I think we're all tired of just
Very
like
much
being
so.
very, very, unless you are the type of person where you're like, no, I do not want to share any bit of my life other than what is very strictly business. I love that for you. I'm not that type of way. I've always been cool with sharing different parts of my life. I love it. I love to look back on it. And I would just give myself full on permission to share that because I think it's fun.
Yeah.
And why the fuck not? And I do think a huge learning lesson for me was like, if I take on more things, does that shift my value? And in actuality, it brings even more value, as we've been talking about, is like, if you can be the woman who holds space for so many different areas of your life, to me, that is absolutely incredible and is actually a badass power move. So that's mine. When you think about the person that you're becoming, what are you most proud of? Aw.
I'm just the version of me I didn't have growing up, and I'm doing everything in my power, everything, to make sure there is just a home within and a safe place for others to be. And I just really love who I'm becoming. Like at the end of the day, I'm just very proud of how I handle things. I'm very proud of, I do rely, and what I realize is I have been relying a lot on external validation of, am I doing this right? Look at how much money I have. How many clients do I have? What's the conversion? What's my blah? Ugh. And I'm recognizing in this current season, the only thing I need is within. And yeah, that, like, I really am just becoming more and more my own best friend and the type of role model that I didn't get blessed with. And I think that's why I didn't get blessed with it, because I didn't have a model. So it was like, hey, go color outside the lines until you can figure it out yourself. And I'm slowly starting to see all these things that, like, people around you can say are like bad or different, or don't do that, or don't be so aggressive, or don't do these things. And it's like, but I love those parts of myself. Like, it's just, it's so authentic. And I'm really excited to uncover in 2025 the deeper authentic parts of myself, like the just not like manic in that type of way, but just like my window of tolerance for things, of like, it was already very slim. Anyone that knows me knows that, where I'm just like, you will read my energy right away when something's a no for me. But like, I just don't have it in me right now for a lot of things that even then I tolerated. And so it's just like, I'm just me. And I'm excited to discover more and more what that means.
I love that so much. I so
Yeah.
see that within you. It's just really like I love and I get so excited for anyone coming into your world this year because you really have become the woman that you never got to receive fully within your life. And that's really, really cool to witness.
Thank
I
you.
love you. Happy
I love you.
2025.
Happy 2025.
What's an adventure you want to go on this year?
You keep asking me questions I can't answer right now.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Not that one. Just like something light.
I really want to go hiking. I need to get to the mountains. I miss it.
Ooh.
I'm the most me when I am in mountains, and I just haven't had it
I
yet.
didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
No mountains.
I'm just like, if I wake up in a forest, I am.
Like forest I knew. But I didn't
But
know
like
this.
the mountains, like if I can go out and just wake up in the morning with a cup of coffee and just like go up.
Why don't you come hang out?
I,
We
I
literally
that's
have
why I
that
keep
behind our
saying, I'm
house.
like, I know. That's why I'm like, I'm coming. I'm
I
moving
don't go back
in.
there enough.
I
Like
know. We'll get your 10,000 steps in.
I don't have sidewalks by my house.
I
That's
know.
like
I said that when you said it. I was like, that's fair. You don't have sidewalks. Like
we don't have
you do.
sidewalks. Like we have trails, but we don't have sidewalks. So I'm gonna have to find a different solution because no excuses. Hashtag no
2025.
excuses. My
Cool.
adventure, not that you asked, but I'll answer it. My adventure for this year. My adventure. I'm actually so excited to start planning our wedding.
I was gonna say, you have
And
a big one.
yeah, we have not even thought about it at all. At all. And everyone keeps asking us questions about it, which is so fine and so supportive. And I love it. But we were just like, oh, it's a 2025 thing. So I'm excited to be on that adventure. And if that takes us overseas, then it takes us overseas. But we're also going to Spain.
Yeah. I love that. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
cheers to
y'all, take
2025.
these questions, run with them, reflect on them. It's okay if you don't start your New Year's till March. We're in that vibe too.
Hashtag prep season.
Yeah, we're like, it's fine. But we love you guys. Make sure you subscribe, like us, review us. We love it to hear from you, and come hang out over on Instagram. My Instagram is @it's Laura Patricia Martin.
It's
Stuff.
just envisioning what would happen if we changed that to Too crazy for you.
Too
Excellent.
crazy for you.
At whopotty789. No, mine is at Stephanie Elsperman, full name. And we'll see you over there. We love you guys, and we can't wait to see you on the next episode. Mwah.
Bye.